If you were to walk 500 kilometers under a hot sun, cross rivers infested with predators, see members of your group fall, would you keep moving? Every year, millions of animals have no choice. They walk, they swim, they fly, not to explore the world, but to survive. Welcome to the world of the largest animal migrations on the planet, a world where life moves forward, even when everything seems lost. In the heart of East Africa, the Serengeti Plains cover more than 30,000 square kilometers, a sea of golden grass swept by the wind. At first glance, everything seems calm, but beneath this apparent tranquility, one of the greatest living spectacles on Earth is being prepared. Nearly 2 million wildebeests are gathering together. Alongside them are hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles, an animal tide. When the dry season comes, the rivers dry up. The grass turns yellow. The ground is cracking. To stay is to die. So they move forward. Columns 40 kilometers long form. The ground shakes under millions of hooves. Young people follow the old ones. Mothers protect their young. No one knows the map of the journey. Yet everyone seems to know where to go. Scientists think that this instinct is etched in their DNA, an ancestral memory passed down from generation to generation. But the path is not just a walk. Rivers are coming. In cloudy water, eyes barely protrude from the surface. Nile crocodiles are waiting, immobile, patience. The herd hesitates. Then a first animal jumps. It's chaos. Thousands of bodies are thrown into the water. Splashes, screams, panic. Some are caught, others trampled. Many manage to reach the other side. It's brutal. It's cruel. But that's the reality of nature. And despite the losses, the migration continues. Further north in the Masai Mara in Kenya, the grass is green. The survivors are resting, feeding, regaining their strength. But they can't stay. The nutrients they need are further south, where the rains will return. Then the cycle starts again. The world's largest mammal migration never really stops. It loops around like a giant savanna breath. An old cycle, fragile, impressive. In the tropical sky, other travelers challenge the limits of endurance. Sooty terns spend most of their lives in flight. Their feathers are not waterproof. They cannot remain on the water for long, so they live in the air. They sleep while flying, a few seconds at a time, enough to recover without falling. They travel hundreds of kilometers to find schools of fish, often pushed back to the surface by marine predators. When the breeding season comes, they reach isolated islands. Thousands of birds nest side by side. Noise, movement, constant agitation. Parents sometimes travel 500 kilometers a day to feed a single chick. Then once the season is over, they head back to the open ocean, always on the move. Australia, in the middle of an arid desert, is hiding an even more unpredictable miracle. Lake Eyre is usually a huge salty desert, dry, white, inhospitable. But when rare rains fill the desert rivers, the water reaches the lake, and the pelicans know it. They appear by the hundreds, then by the thousands. Some have traveled hundreds of kilometers following temporary waterways. The lake sometimes fills up only once every 8 years, sometimes less. But when it is reborn, it becomes a paradise. Fish abound. Birds nest directly on the ground. Chicks grow rapidly, taking advantage of this ephemeral abundance. Because everyone knows that the water will come back. When the lake begins to dry up, the pelicans fly away again, seeking another refuge. Further still in the deep ocean, the giants live. Whale sharks, the world's largest fish, travel thousands of kilometers in search of concentrations of plankton that are invisible to us. Their movements are still mysterious. We do not fully understand their roads. Blue whales, on the other hand, make intercontinental migrations. They leave the food-rich cold waters near the poles and join the warm tropical waters where they give birth. Travels of several thousand kilometers, silent, majestic, huge. In the blue vastness of the ocean, another extraordinary journey is underway. Olive turtles, among the most numerous in the world, travel up to 4,000 kilometers. They leave their feeding grounds on the high seas to return exactly to the beach where they were born. No one showed them the way, yet they find the same shoreline. During arrivals, thousands of females emerge from the waves simultaneously. They crawl painfully on the sand. Each movement requires immense effort. They dig a hole with their rear fins. They lay about 100 fragile white eggs, then cover the nest carefully, and they head back to the ocean. They will never see their little ones. 2 months later, the sand shudders. Tiny turtles are emerging. In front of them, a huge beach. Behind them are hungry predators, vultures, seabirds, crabs with powerful tongs. Every second counts. They run towards the ocean, guided by the light of the horizon. Many will be captured. Very few will reach the water, but those that do will disappear into the sea currents for years to come, until the day when, as adults, they return to the same beach to lay their eggs. Why do these migrations exist? Because life on Earth is uneven. Food is not always in the same place. The water disappears, the seasons are changing, temperatures vary, so the only option is to move. These migrations are not just displacements. They are a survival strategy, a response to an ever-changing world. Every step of a wildebeest in the dust, each flapping of a tern's wings over the ocean, every stroke of a turtle's fin towards the beach. It's been a biological decision for millennia. Move forward or disappear, and maybe these migrations tell something deeper. They remind us that stability is an illusion, that life requires adaptation and movement. Sometimes, standing still is the greatest danger. In the savannah, in the ocean, in the sky, the greatest travelers on the planet show us a universal lesson. To survive is to move forward in spite of fear. If this exploration of the greatest animal migrations has fascinated you, subscribe now to discover other incredible stories about our planet. Because the Earth is alive, and it's constantly moving, and this movement never stops.